Hello and welcome to Will Watches. This is You Were Never Really Here. So I know this is Joaquin Phoenix. It's a kind of revenge. It seems like he's kind of going after traffickers, that kind of thing. It's Joaquin Phoenix, so I'm expecting maybe him to elevate this a bit more above your kind of standard revenge action flick. And that's pretty much all I know. So before we jump into this, be sure to check out the Patreon page. Over there you can find a full-length version of this where you just sync up your own footage and you can watch along with me. You can find an uncensored version of this. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a bit gory, so you can find that over there too. And you can find polls so you can vote for what's next. So yeah, let's just jump right in. Oh.
I must do better, sir.
Yeah, that's Joaquin Phoenix under there, isn't it? But he wasn't... Was he trying to end things, or... Ooh. I'm burning this photo. Okay, seems like we're just kind of thrown in the deep end here. Already blood on his hammer, yeah. Yeah, so he already finished up business somewhere then. He was like cleaning up, blood on his hammer, taking someone's SIM card. Ooh. Okay. Was it just a random attack, or was that someone who knew who he was? Am I just being an attempted random mugging in an alleyway? Yeah, so that was like a hotel he was in before. I'm assuming there was someone in that hotel planning to meet with someone else and he got there before. Or he's like maybe even like catfishing predators online, saying meet me at this hotel pretending to be someone. Oh, there's the title, Through the Taxi Driver. Now in the poster, there was like this little girl there. I'm thinking with the title, is he like maybe a dad out for revenge? You were never really here. You were never really here as a father, and then something happens to his girl. That's kind of the vibe I got, but I could be completely wrong on that base.
Hello, you have reached
John McCleary.
After the tone, please leave a message.
But he wasn't there then. Okay, it's done. That sounds more like he was hired as a hitman.
Mom, I'm back.
Okay. I was going to say, does he still live with mum? But maybe mum's a bit too old to live on her own here. Oh, she was just playing.
Psycho is on today.
Why are you watching that alone?
No. Hey, go check out my Psycho reaction. Is that a hint? He is actually his mother? No, we're actually seeing the mum here. Yeah, of course, he's got a few injuries there. Being a hitman, people fighting back. I guess it can be boring in between jobs. You might not always be busy. I mean, maybe some of maybe some of his scars are self-inflicted out of boredom, it seems like. Yeah, there's a bit of a focus on those two boys smoking up on the fire escape earlier. I wonder if how that will come back up. It's a cool shot actually through the window. Just thinking back to the title again, You Were Never Really Here. Does he not actually spend that much time at home helping his mum? It's that classic balance of needing money, going and doing jobs, and actually spending time with your family. Yeah, a lot of shots kind of through windows. That was another cool one. That's quite a stash.
Did your son tell you that he saw me?
Yeah, he was with a friend, you know, it's just a coincidence, man.
Oh, but now they know where he lives. Privacy, of course, puts him in danger.
We're done, Angel.
Wow.
No, he didn't mean to see you.
Just like that, you have to sever the relationship. Yeah, of course you do. I don't think he would move, though, after that happening. But he might be a bit more worried about getting exposed. It'd be a bit too much to upend mum here. Okay, and then back to this. Oh, it's some sort of childhood trauma. Yeah, and earlier on in the film, we saw him doing that again. And it was like counting down. It was like a little... I thought it was a little girl counting down because something... There's quite a gross comment about little girls in there. But then it cut... It was like him and it cut... So maybe some trauma of him as a child because it was like him as a boy there right at the start. There's a lot of shots of him somewhere and then him not there. You were never really here. It was like him looking through the train tracks there, and it showed it again with him not there. And even when he was leaving that little shop, Angel shop there, when he walked out the door, we just heard the kind of bell ring, but didn't see him walk out. He's like Batman, he just disappears.
You could just call me directly, you know, like a normal person.
Bit too obvious, easy to track.
State Senator Albert Vato.
I found a green one.
Their teenage daughter's been running away from home ever since.
Quite high profile cases then that he's on. Seems, yeah, a bit childlike, having this candy, these jelly beans. Is that kind of related to his trauma?
You have kids, Joe?
Oh, he's actually going to see... This is that senator guy.
Nina. Her name is Nina.
I'm assuming that's the girl who's like on the poster and stuff.
I've heard of these places. Underage girls.
Yeah, I don't want her being trafficked and stuff. He's got to go extract her.
I want you to hurt them.
Yeah. Be brutal. Quite a nice looking place, actually. I wasn't expecting it to be that. That's just the address they gave, though. That might not be where she is. Yeah, back to Lassie in the Sand. That must be something from his childhood again. Oh, yeah, the expression on their face suddenly seems to change.
What the fuck are we doing?
Is he imagining them being like the girls that have been abducted?
Don't make me wait!
That pills or something? Seems he's not using guns. He's got his hammer. I guess you've got a bit of an alibi if you're caught with a hammer. You just go into a hardware store, you know. Yeah, some damage to that left arm as well. We saw earlier he was kind of doing some exercises with it and maybe struggling to move it. Oh. He was in the army? Is that not his foot that we were seeing then? Yeah, he's saying shut up to these memories, these visions he's having.
Dear delightful land, You're exciting.
It is crazy some of the body transformations actors go through, because this was just before Joker and he had quite big muscles there, you know, and the Joker is so thin. Yeah, he's gone for a bit of a stakeout. Sort of those cans of drink he was bringing. Oh, there we go. Don't miss it.
What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, he's constantly saying, "What are we doing?" There's something where he's questioned his motives. Oh, something there. Is that like refugees, but they'd all died trying to get in a van or something? It looked like maybe when he was taking the photo of those Asian girls earlier, that reminded him there.
I just work here, but I just run errands. I don't.
You know, the guy said, "Oh, I'm just low level. I just run errands," but he's still supporting this whole operation, and who knows how involved he actually is. Okay, so he's just storming in, yeah. I said be brutal. Did he kill the guy in the car? I couldn't quite tell there. Cool seeing it all through the security cameras. Does this mean there's evidence of what he's done around though? Oh, of course, yeah, she's been drugged up.
Stay there, do this. Don't move.
Yeah, what's this countdown? Obviously, she's kind of come to a bit there at the end of that countdown. And that woman who came in, was she a fellow victim? One of the ones that wasn't underage? Or was she... Because, yeah, there could be a woman part of the operation as well.
Close your eyes.
It's not actually been that violent so far. And that guy's still moving, it looks like, yeah. Most of the actual action has been quite distant, like when it was through those security cameras, which was a cool way to do it. But yeah, it was all quite distant. Maybe not as kind of cathartic as you might think, but I've got a point on that and I'll maybe talk about it in the discussion. That seems to have gone too smoothly. Already got her and got her out. Something, there must be something more.
46, 45, 44, 43.
And again with this countdown.
You don't want to touch that. It's gross.
Oh, okay.
It's okay.
I was going to say, yeah, they haven't really talked much. She's thanking him.
I know.
Yeah, I was thinking as well when they were sitting here in the car park. If someone else comes along and sees him with her in the car, they might think he's a weirdo.
Taking home your dad. Oh, we just have to wait here a little while longer.
Yeah, is there something more? Like a reason she's running away from Dad? Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, him checking into the hotel with her as well. It's either a hotel that's in on it or, yeah, it looks like they just don't care.
Stood there for a second and then he stepped off. Senator Votto's body was discovered beneath.
Oh.
He apparently leapt from a suite on the 22nd floor.
Oh. Does the news know about her, though? I don't know.
He climbed up on the ledge and he just stood there.
Or is it all a setup? Is that a cop? Oh, so he's all been framed. Wow. I mean, she can stand up for him?
I'm just a hired gun. I don't give a shit about them.
At least like corrupt cops though. Yeah, just kill that random guy.
together during the campaign. He's been my mentor.
Well, that tells you the type of hotel it is.
There's no question that what I did was wrong.
On the news, there's no question what I did was wrong. Was the senator like exposed for something there? So yeah, I said it was a bit too easy. Now, I mean, the cops have her. Is that corrupt cops? Does he still need to go back and save her then? Or is he just on the run from the police now? He's got to pull out a tooth. So it got much more violent actually. Ugh. Much more gory. Look at the highlights here. Almost like star-shaped.
John, you there? Pick up. Pick up. John, what the fuck is going on?
John was like his middleman, wasn't he? Has John thrown him under the bus? Or John being caught up in this too? And there is that loose thread now with Angel's son knowing where he lives. If everything's falling apart, is he going to be paranoid about that? Or would that come back up somehow? If they're specifically targeting him. I'm assuming just painkillers because of being shot. But some painkillers can make you a bit doozy, can't they? Yeah, we're hearing that again and seeing him there as a child again. Yeah, okay, they totally got to him. Went for his hands for some reason. Okay. Oh, yeah, he cut ties with Angel, but is Angel okay? We saw they had a bit of a friendship there, even though they did have to cut ties. Oh, it's like right now, isn't it? Someone's there with him.
You have reached.
Angel's more dead.
Wow. Stand up straight. Yeah. This is dad. Some trauma from his dad. So we lost Angel and Angel's son. Did they get the info about where he lives out of Angel's son, though? Ah, damn. Yeah. What's he got left now, then? Yeah, I wasn't sure if they'd got the info out of Angel's son, or if it would maybe been good that, you know, Angel's son wasn't around anymore to reveal that, but obviously they got it out of him before. That was him and Mum. Yeah, it seems like some obvious trauma from his dad. Hiding under the table. And does he use hammers because his dad used the hammer? And crawling under the table, yeah, just like the image you were seeing with the mum. His memories, it's all reflecting it, isn't it? And he managed to get this guy without killing him so he can get some info. Yeah, I don't know if it's like the senator set him up, or if there's something bigger. The senator, if it's like, senator's obviously got some guilt about something for jumping off. Maybe he was thrown off. That could be a setup as well. Make it look like he did it to himself. But what's the motivation behind the people doing this?
Who killed my mother?
It could all be political, to do with the senator, some political rival.
No.
Of course, yeah, he wants to, like, torture the one that actually did it. Let's get some answers, hopefully, from him.
Take this.
Yeah, the painkillers.
Where is she?
Yeah, he's got to go save her again now.
Governor Williams.
She's his favorite.
Oh,
Trade them.
another governor that, yeah, taking a political rival's daughter like that. But, like, if that was ever exposed, yeah, the kind of media storm that would create. So he's trying to shut it all down. Okay, they're just having a little harmony now. Actually, maybe like comforting him in his final moments. Yeah. Oh, are we actually having a bit of a time skip at a funeral? No. You just put on a suit. Okay. I saw the car driving behind it. It almost looked like a procession. But maybe he's going to give her a bit of a send-off. I guess he can't do a proper one because it kind of exposes everything. Gorgeous scenery, this lake, actually, yeah. Oh, wow, yeah. Going under with her, and we're hearing some of those memories again. Yeah, it's gorgeous, all of this underwater stuff.
27, 26, 25, 24.
He's still got to go and save Nina too. Because it was almost like him going underwater, like him joining her. Yeah, he'd put stones in his jacket too, okay. But yeah, can't go yet until Nina's saved. Oh yeah, seeing Senator. See, we're seeing him jump off of his own volition there, but I don't think that might not exactly be true. These are just visions he's having. I don't think... Is he just going to go visit Governor Williams personally? Of course, he's always got security with him. Cool build up and reveal just to the house, yeah, following him into the suburbs to his house. Oh. Photos of all his victims. I mean, it's a very stupid thing to do as well. You know, if you're doing that type of thing, evidence right there. See, it has kind of subverted your expectations on the type of places you think this would happen. Even before, I was like, that's quite a nice apartment building from the outside. It's not all kind of grimy and grungy. It happens in nice places too. Oh, okay. Quite a big... Did he do it to himself? Must be. Quite a big cut there. Or just overwhelming emotions. I'm weak. It's just all this trauma from Dad still. Well, the girl was still somewhere in this house, somewhere to be saved. Sounds like dripping blood. I was trying to, it's like, is that sound effect? Is that diegetic? Is it someone trying to like escape out of something? They're hitting something? She's covered in blood. Oh, was it her? Okay. She got revenge. Yeah, okay. Because to be honest, I saw the cut on his neck and I thought, that's quite deep. Did he do that to himself? Is he strong enough to do that to himself? That makes a bit more sense. So she kind of fought her own way out of it. It wasn't just him doing it to himself out of guilt.
Where are we going?
I don't know, just straight to the police. What'd you do?
Wherever you want.
Is her mum still in the picture? Whoa! What?
You know you're not supposed to have butter.
But I was reacting. Yeah, splattered in blood and no reaction. Is he just thinking of doing that, or you were never really here?
Hey. Joe, wake up.
Yeah, he was just okay. I was thinking back to the title, but it's like we've seen multiple characters interact with him. It's not like a Fight Club situation where he doesn't exist. Is that the end? Yeah. Huh. But then neither of them there? When he, like, at the end there, I was like, was he never, because there's a few shots where I even mentioned, you know, through the train tracks where he was there and then he wasn't, and when he was exiting Angel's store, and then I was kind of thinking like, oh, he's not like a creation of Nina's imagination to kind of justify the violence, you know. She killed the governor to get out. She didn't actually kill the rest of the other people to get out. I don't think so. But then, like, I don't know. Neither of them are here now. But is that just they've left the shop? They've left the restaurant. I don't know if it's as abstract as that. I'm going to stick around while this is on screen, just in case there's anything more. No, doesn't seem like it. Okay. Okay, so that was You Were Never Really Here. Bear with me because I'm still kind of working it out in my head. I'm just going to kind of go over my ideas, my thoughts. So the title, I'm not sure what to make of the title because, as I said, there were like points where I was like, how much of this is real, how much isn't. There's obviously, we're getting all of these flashes of Joe's trauma, but I think he was actually real. Like when he kind of, sorry, I'm going to have to self-censor because of YouTube as well. When he, you know, right at the end, I was like, oh, is he some sort of like coping mechanism for Nina's violence? Which I don't think is the case at all, actually. But that's what rushed through my head there. But then we obviously see him there still alive. And I was like, oh, does Nina actually exist? Is she some sort of mirror of his trauma? I think she is a mirror of his trauma, but I think she does exist as well. I don't think there's any kind of Fight Club shenanigans going on here, like the title might suggest. So I'm trying to wrap my head around what the title might mean still, but I don't think either of those are the case here. But I do think, yeah, she is obviously like a mirror for what happened to him when he was younger, and we see that through the cinematography as well, and just through how certain things play out. when the guys were invading Mum's home and he'd caught them, one of them was dead, like under the table, and that was like her when she was hiding under the table. And we see him like trying to kind of choke himself with bags constantly because that's something he experienced as a child as well. And then on top of that, there's this extra trauma of him being like in the army, in the military at some point. There's this bit where he's constantly saying, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Kind of questioning his reason for being there. And we see like they open up some sort of truck or something along those lines, and there's maybe a bunch of refugees who have died. And there was a bit where he like gave the candy to a kid, and then that kid got killed. I think that's all kind of just questioning his like motivation for being there in the army. Is he actually, doing good in the world by being there? Is he actually contributing anything being there? Is that actually making the world a better place? And I'm not sure if he thinks it is. So then he becomes this like hitman going after predators, which maybe he thinks is more kind of constructive to society to get rid of these people. But then I kind of want to talk about the violence there, or the lack of, because there is violence in this film, but the violence we never see with the predators, which is an interesting choice because you think there would be this kind of catharsis when taking them out. But actually, I think this is kind of playing into this idea of something you see a lot online when, there's these people who kind of entrap predators like that, and they, catfish them and get them to meet up. And when they get there, they just kind of beat them up or expose them online. And at a certain point, that starts to feel less for the sake of the children that they're protecting, and more just for their own ego and this kind of excuse because it's acceptable to be violent towards these people. And it feels more like just an excuse as an outlet of violence more than it is them actually caring about the children. And I think this is similar here. This is kind of maybe not critiquing that specifically, but that kind of idea that, people use revenge films and things like that as this kind of outlet and catharsis for violence. And a lot of people have these kind of violent imaginations and scenarios where, they kind of dream about having an excuse to be violent. And here we have this build up to the violence. We have the senator saying, be brutal, kind of preparing you. Oh, it's going to be violent when he gets there. And he's picking out the hammer, and it's all building up to this moment. And then it's just kind of distant on the CCTV, and there's not much gore or anything. And it kind of strips that catharsis away. So you're not as kind of emotionally involved. This kind of fantasy of the violence isn't fulfilled there. But the kind of good of those people not being around is also still there as well. So it doesn't let you get kind of wrapped up in the fantasy and the fantasization of that violence. That's what I think the film is going for there, and I think it does it well, actually. But the film is still violent in many other places, just never when it's actually involving the predators. And I think that point also applies to Joe when Joe arrives at the governor's house, because I was like trying to piece together, a little confused when he went in there and we saw the governor was slashed. I thought he'd done it to himself out of guilt, but obviously later on we see Nina sitting there with the blaze, so we're like, oh, okay, it was her. So that violence again happens off screen. It doesn't even involve Joe. Then Joe has that kind of breakdown after. I don't think that's like him breaking down because he didn't get to fulfill this fantasy, fulfill this violence. I think that's more him breaking down because he has almost failed to protect Nina from this violence. He's failed to protect her from kind of becoming what he is. She's now taken a life, and that takes a heavy toll. But as an audience, we don't get that catharsis again. And it really is the case that a lot of these people who are like catfishing these predators, they don't care about the results, because if they did, they would be doing different methods, because a lot of the time it just counts as entrapment and the police can't do anything about it. if they did, they'd be like collaborating with the police or something. You know, just take the case of EDP, quite a big streamer, YouTuber, who was caught looking for cupcakes, and then he is still around. He still has a platform. Everyone knows what he did, and it's like they don't care. You know, he still has a platform, and obviously he definitely lost subscribers. Lots of people were disgusted by what he did, but there's still people who follow him out of a morbid curiosity. It may have even given him a bigger profile. And because, you know, he went there looking for something, obviously, but never actually did it, there wasn't enough evidence with the police. I don't know exactly how it, you know, went in that case, but he's still out there. So it's like these people, do they really... What is their actual motivations here? And if their motivations are, you know, protecting kids, there's other steps they can be taking. Or do they just want the catharsis of beating up and exposing these people? And yeah, as I said, Joe, this kind of childhood version of Joe with his dad, it mirrors a lot of Nina. And I think kind of saving Nina is almost saving himself in a way. So him not being able to save her from kind of going down that same path of him going down the violent path. I don't know if he did any violence in his childhood, maybe against his dad. There is a possibility that he eventually fought back there. But it feels like, yeah, she's mirroring him, and he wants to save her from living like a life of violence that he is now. And, you know, maybe it is the case that in the future she recovers, goes to therapy, gets a normal job or whatever, and doesn't go down like a violent path like him, but she still has committed that first act of vengeance, you know? And I think although Joe is violent, maybe he does kind of respect life. Obviously, you know, he lost his mum and lost some people close to him, Angel's son. We saw how he reacted with his mum. That really great moment, him taking her to the lake and dropping her in. And he was kind of, he's had this kind of ideation, seeing him wanting to end it all, and you know, he was going to have the rocks in his jacket there, but he had the vision of Nina and had to go and save her, so he couldn't at that point. And at the end, maybe what we were seeing there is him ending this life that he's been living, this life of trauma and this life of revenge and violence. Maybe what we were seeing there is almost a rebirth, and now that he has, you know, he didn't fully get to save Nina because he didn't save her from the violence, but he has saved her from that situation now. Maybe he is seeing that as an opportunity of kind of rebirth there, and there's this like open opportunity now that they can go and do whatever they want. As they say, they're like, oh, what do we do next? And neither of them know, but it means there's any possibility there. And it is also like Joe, all of his ties have been cut, you know, his ties to Angel, his ties to, what was the guy's name? The other guy who was kind of organising it all of that's been severed, and he's no longer tied down to even with his mum. So he has a lot of opportunity here to actually kind of grow and heal from everything. And I do think as well, he was using the violence as a kind of outlet for his trauma, because there was, you know, the moment when he finds the governor and sees that Nina got there before he did. I think we saw quite a lot of the kind of trauma flashing back to him, and I'm wondering if maybe the violence kind of silences the voices in a way, you know, for a while. If he does a few violent acts, that kind of suppresses everything a bit, and that was also kind of part of his breakdown there, that he didn't have a way to suppress them at that moment, but also knowing that kind of Nina's maybe going down that path and he couldn't save her from the violence. That's kind of part of it as well. But I do quite like that spin on the end, that maybe it's a kind of killing your past self so you can move on and grow into something more, be reborn into something more. There's a joke in there somewhere about Joaquin Phoenix's name, but I'm not going to make it. And I think, again, on the point of like Joe valuing life, there's that bit where there's the men who have broken into his house to kill his mum. and, you know, he takes out one of them, the other's injured, he gets the information he needs. But then the guy's there kind of dying, singing this song that's on the radio, and Joe joins in. And is that like kind of comforting that guy in his last moments, even though it's a guy who's, you know, killed his mum or played a part in killing his mum? You know, Joe's not always fully rational and maybe reverts back to childlike tendency sometimes, like with the candy. So that might be part of it there as well. But maybe it is also comforting that guy in death, because the guy did actually help him and did actually give the information. He probably knows, just like himself, it's just a paycheck, you know, he's a hitman for a paycheck. It's nothing personal with that guy. The more personal thing is obviously with the governor who had set that all up, you know. And another point is the kind of situations in which the abuse is occurring, the actual physical locations. You know, when I feel like stereotypically you think of it, you think of dark, seedy, grungy kind of places, hidden back rooms that, you know, you have to have a special knock and password to get into. But actually, it's these big higher up governors in these fancy mansions, not the stereotypical image you'd expect. Even the apartment I commented on was quite a nice apartment that they went to, that apartment complex. The building was quite nice from the outside. There is a lot of money involved in this type of trafficking and things, isn't there? But I think that's also maybe a little bit of like, you know, he goes into the governor's house and it's like, it's grand, but it's almost also kind of homely and comforting. And that is maybe also kind of commentary on abuse, how, you know, abuse can happen at home as well. It's not always strangers and this kind of grungy environment. It can happen in places that you would feel comfortable in when you'd least expect it. Just as with Joe, a lot of his trauma and his abuse happened when he was at home, in his own home, you know. It can happen close to home. Okay, so I think that's everything. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and discussion here. If you've got any points you'd like to add, be sure to drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts about this as well. And if you really love this video, be sure to subscribe so you can keep up to date on all future uploads. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll catch you guys later.